Is there any new business?
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate 1.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to take from the table the motion that states, I move that our FFA chapter purchases a new desktop computer and a printer for our FFA Public Relations Committee.
Second.
It's been moved by Delegate 1 and seconded by Delegate 5 that we take from the table the motion that states, I move that our FFA chapter purchases a new desktop computer and a printer for our FFA Public Relations Committee. All those in favor of taking the motion from the table say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it, motion fails. Is there any new business?
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate 5.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that our FFA chapter sponsors a monthly podcast for the 2024-2025 school year with 1 month dedicated to the benefits of using parliamentary procedure.
Second.
Moved by Delegate 5 and seconded by Delegate 3 that our FFA chapter sponsors a monthly podcast for the 2024-2025 school year with 1 month dedicated to the benefits of using parliamentary procedure. Delegate 5, as maker of the motion, you first rights to debate.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Fellow board members, I think that this will be a really beneficial thing to do. It will spread the word of FFA throughout our community and maybe even further. Additionally, it'll bring school spirit into our FFA chapter and it'll give our kids the opportunity to learn parliamentary procedure so that they can run for office in the future. I urge a yes vote.
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate 3.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Fellow board members, I think this is a terrible idea. Our chapter does not have the funds to buy all this podcast equipment or the time to do this every single month. That's just a lot of time and a lot of effort that we can't handle. So I urge a no vote.
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate 4.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to divide the question so that the first motion may read, I move that our FFA chapter sponsor a monthly podcast for the 24-25 school year. And the second motion may read, I move that our FFA chapter sponsor a podcast dedicated to the benefits of using parliamentary procedure.
Second.
It's been moved by Delegate 4 and seconded by Delegate 3 that we divide the question so that the first motion may read, I move that our FFA chapter sponsors a monthly podcast for the 2024-2025 school year. And the second motion may read, I move that our FFA chapter sponsor a podcast dedicated to the benefits of using parliamentary procedure. Are there any amendments? Seeing none, we shall proceed to a vote. All those in favor of dividing the question say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it, motion fails. Is there any further debate on the main motion at hand?
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate 2.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think this motion is a great idea. I think this is a great way for our chapter to outreach into other communities and show them what our FFA chapter is all about. I think this is a great way to spread publicity about what we're doing and the ways that we can do things in our chapter. I urge yes vote.
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate 1.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Fellow board members, I do not think that this main motion is a good idea. I simply don't think we're going to have enough participation through this, and I don't think many people are going to want to listen to a podcast of all of us talking because they're going to get bored very quickly. Fellow board members, I urge you no vote.
Mr.
I
Chairman.
rise to a question of privilege.
State your question, Delegate 5.
It's hot in here. Can we turn on the air conditioning?
Unfortunately, I have no control over the air conditioning.
I appeal for the decision of the chair.
Second.
The chair's decision has been appealed. All those in favor of sustaining the chair's decision say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
The ayes have it and the chair's decision is sustained. Is there any further debate on the main motion at hand?
Mr.
And
Chairman.
I rise to a parliamentary inquiry.
State inquiry, Delegate 1.
Would it be in order to adjourn at this time?
Yes, it would be.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate 4.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Due to it being hot in here, I move to suspend the rules interfering with us removing our official FFA jackets.
Second.
It's been moved by Delegate 4 and seconded by Delegate 3 that we suspend the rule interfering with members removing their official FFA jackets. All those in favor of suspending the standing rule say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it, motion fails. Is there any further debate?
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate 3.
I move to postpone indefinitely.
Second.
It's been moved by Delegate 3 and seconded by Delegate 2 that we postpone this matter indefinitely. Delegate 3 is maker of the motion. You have first rights to debate.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Fellow board members, I think this postponement is a great idea because there is no point in this motion. Our reporter already does so much in our community to get us out there, putting us on news stations, putting us into the paper and everything. This is just unnecessary and costs way more money than we can handle. So I urge a yes vote.
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate 5.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Fellow board members, this postponement is absolutely ridiculous. This is absolutely something that we should at least be considering given all of the possible benefits of it. Yes, our reporter already puts things into the paper. Yes, we already are on the news, but this is an opportunity to spread beyond just our community, and so I urge a no vote.
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate 2.
I move the previous question.
Second.
Previous question has been called. May I remind you this is non-debatable, non-amendable, and requires a 2/3 vote to pass. All those in favor of calling for the previous question, please rise. You may be seated. All opposed, please rise. You may be seated. With a vote of 5 in favor and none opposed, the motion passes. We will now take a vote on postponing this matter indefinitely. All those in favor of postponing this matter indefinitely say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
Division.
Division has been called by Delegate 1. We will now take a standing vote on postponing the matter indefinitely. All those in favor of postponing the matter indefinitely say aye. Please ayes. You may be seated. All opposed, please ayes. You may be seated. With a vote of 2 in favor and 3 opposed, the motion fails. Is there any further debate on the main motion at hand?
Mr.
I
Chairman.
rise to a question of privilege.
State your question, Delegate 3.
My chair's squeaky. Can I get a new one?
Unfortunately, I have no control over the chairs.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate Ford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, fellow board members. I do not think this is a good idea, solely because a monthly podcast with how busy we already are would just be too much on our officers' plates, and I don't want to stress them out over a podcast. Therefore, urge a no vote.
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate 2.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that we refer this to a committee of 3, appointed by the chair with full power to act.
Second.
It's been moved by Delegate 2 and seconded by Delegate 3 that we refer this matter to a committee of 3 as appointed by the chair with power to act. Delegate 2 is maker of the motion. You have first rights to debate.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think this referral is a great idea, so that way this is off of our officers' hands, and they can just plan this every month and figure out what we're going to be talking about. I think it would just be easier that they take this with the full power to act and buy the supplies that we're going to need for this, and it will be out of our hands, and it's just much simpler for us as a membership. I urge yes vote.
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate Ford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, fellow board members. I do not think this referral is a good idea. Because if we give them full power to act, they can go out and buy all this podcast stuff, which is thousands of dollars. And if we give them access to that, we don't know exactly what it's being spent on. Therefore, urge no vote.
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate 1.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Fellow board members, I do not think that this referral is a good idea because 3 people is not going to be enough to handle a monthly podcast for our school year. That's going to be a lot of time, and they definitely need more people to help organize things. Fellow board members, I urge no vote.
Mr. Chairman.
I rise to a parliamentary inquiry.
State inquiry, Delegate 2.
Would it be in order to amend it this time?
Yes, it would be.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate 5.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to amend this referral by striking 3 and inserting 10.
Second.
It's been moved by Delegate 5 and seconded by Delegate 3 that we amend the referral by striking 3 and inserting 10. So that if adopted, it will read, I move that we refer this matter to a committee of 10 as appointed by the chair with full power to act. Delegate 5 is maker of the motion. You have first rights to debate.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Fellow board members, I think that this is a great idea because 3 people, as Delegate 1 stated, is not going to be enough. They need to talk to the administration about the use of our school's name. They need to find equipment. They need to find guests. There's all sorts of things that need to be done. And so by upping the number on this committee, this will spread out that task more evenly. I urge a yes vote.
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate 3.
I move to limit debate to 2 minutes per speaker per turn.
Second.
It's been moved by Delegate 3 and seconded by Delegate 5 that we limit debate to 2 minutes per speaker per turn. Are there any amendments? Seeing none, we shall proceed to vote. All those in favor of limiting debate, please ayes. You may be seated. All opposed, please ayes. You may be seated. With a vote of 2 in favor and 3 opposed, the motion fails. Debate will not be limited. Is there any further debate on the amendment at hand?
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate Ford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, fellow board members. I am not in favor of this amendment. 10 is just far too many people to handle such a task. And 10 is an even number, so if they went to vote on something, they would just always end up with a tie. Therefore, urge no vote.
Mr. Chairman.
I ask permission to withdraw my motion.
Second.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, the amendment is withdrawn. Is there any further debate on the referral at hand?
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate 2.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I still feel this referral is a good idea. I think it would just be better for our sake that we have a committee handle this. I think it's just better off that we end up taking this to a committee so that way they can handle it all on our own and it's without worry for the entire school year. I urge yes vote.
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate 1.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to postpone this matter to our next regularly scheduled meeting.
Second.
It's been moved by Delegate 1 and seconded by Delegate 3 that we postpone this matter to our next regularly scheduled meeting. Delegate 1 is maker of the motion. You have first rights to debate.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Fellow board members, I think this postponement is a good idea. We can go ahead, spend some time thinking about this, see if anyone would be interested in listening, or if we have anybody who would want to speak on this podcast specifically. Fellow board members, I urge a yes vote.
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate Ford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, fellow board members. I am not in agreement with this postponement solely because our next meeting is so close to the end of the school year. we really won't have time to talk about this because we'll be worrying about stuff that we want to do over the summer and not next school year. Therefore, I urge a no vote.
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate 3.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Fellow floor members, I think this postponement is a great idea because there are a lot of finances that go with this motion that we need to figure out before we take a vote. So I urge you yes vote.
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate 2.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do not think postponement is a good idea. I just don't think we simply have the time right now to handle this, and I think postponing this now would be a bad idea, so that way if we go back to the next meeting, we already have so much planned for that meeting considering it's the end of the year. I urge a no vote.
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate 5.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Fellow floor members, I'm in favor of this postponement. I think by giving ourselves more time to think this over, by giving ourselves the opportunity to refer with different people that we might need to refer with, I think it'll be a great opportunity to really improve this motion. I urge a yes vote.
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate 3.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Fellow floor members, I think this postponement is a great idea because we can take our time and come back with a clear mind so we have better ideas and we can make a better decision. So I urge you yes vote.
Is there any further debate on postponing this matter to our next regularly scheduled meeting? Seeing none, we shall proceed to a vote. All those in favor of postponing this matter to our next regularly scheduled meeting say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
The ayes have it, motion passes. Is there any new business?
Mr. Chairman.
Delegate 4.
I move to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
It's been moved by Delegate 4 and seconded by Delegate 3 that we adjourn this meeting. All those in favor of adjourning the meeting say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
The ayes have it, meeting adjourned.
Alrighty, number 1, you had to take from the table.
Yes.
If a motion is not taken from the table within the required time limits, what happens to it?
The motion is lost.
When may a motion that was laid on the table be taken from the table?
Can you repeat the question?
Yes, ma'am. When may a motion that was laid on the table be taken from the table?
At that meeting or at the next meeting?
Number 2, you had previous question. Name 3 undebatable, privileged, or subsidiary motions that the previous question can be applied to.
Postpone definitely, refer, and amend.
May a member conclude his or her debate on a main motion by moving the previous question?
No.
Number 3, you had postpone indefinitely. If the motion to postpone indefinitely is pending and the main motion is definitely postponed, what happens to the motion to postpone indefinitely?
It is lost.
What is the effect of the motion to postpone indefinitely on the pending question?
It kills it for the duration of the session.
Number 4, you had divide a question. What 2 subsidiary motions can be applied to a division of a question alone?
The main motion or the amendment?
Is an amendment applied to division of a question debatable? Please explain your answer.
Yes, because divide the question is already debatable, so an amendment to a debatable motion would still be debatable.
Number 5, you had withdraw a question. Is the motion to withdraw a motion in order when another member has the floor?
No.
What does it mean when a motion is said to be the property of its mover?
It means that the chair has not stated the question yet.
Mr. Chair, explain to me how the presiding officer would participate in debating the main motion.
The presiding officer could give up their role as presiding officer to debate on the motion.
Under what circumstance is a person presiding at a meeting addressed as Mr. or Madam Chairperson?
Could you repeat the question?
Under what circumstance is a person presiding at a meeting addressed as Mr. or Madam Chairperson?
In any circumstance?
Thank you all very much. Congratulations.